Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Crypto Space. So guys, in today's video we are going to cover Pepe, its recent price action. Of course, we are going to cover Pepe's holders, and on the top of that we are going to cover a couple of interesting altcoin and Bitcoin charts too. So we do have quite a bit to cover for today, guys. So if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and a quick disclaimer that this video is not financial advice. But now guys, let's hop into Pepe itself. So first of all, that is a 4-hourly time frame, and last time that I was making a Pepe update, I believe that was pretty much around that area, and I was saying that most likely we are going to see the pump, and you guys also mentioned in the comments that it's already pumping, and it actually did. So we got rejected from that resistance level that actually became our support now, but we are going to get there now. Perfectly, we got supported by this level of support, so that's great, and we have bounced back towards the upside for Pepe. And as of now guys, we are pretty much in that range of that support now, right? And why would I say that? Because let's say extend this support, right? I would say it's still pretty much valid, right? That support basically goes back to that first pump where many of you actually called me crazy, but there you go. Anyways, let's go back and let's see what is going on. Obviously we are pulling back for Pepe, however we are still holding that support over here. Let's actually check smaller time frames to see what is going on. So that one is an hourly time frame, right? Everything is going to be good short term as long as we are not going to dip below that support. Nevertheless, let's go back to the daily chart and let's see what is going on. So as you guys can see, so many green candles, right? Now guys, as you can see, there is a quite dangerous zone, I would say, on a daily now, because as you guys can see, Pepe is pretty much going up and down on a daily with a local dip, right? And then we are basically in that dangerous zone if it comes to stochastic RSI, because Pepe is constantly at overbought territory. Nevertheless, I still do think it's a bullish, right? By the way, Pepe is actually going to hit my take profit level very soon, so I'm going to update you. Please of course subscribe in order to be notified. But now guys, let me actually switch it to the weekly for Pepe, and I may be actually gonna run this trade depending on how is the momentum for Pepe, and I'm going to take my profits over here. But of course there is still quite a bit of a time, right? But the main thing that I'm looking at is stochastic RSI on a weekly, guys, because obviously Pepe is not going to go up forever, I believe, and sooner or later we are going to see the pullback, because obviously people are going to be taking the profits, right? So I'm going to wait for a while until Pepe is actually going to reach that zone, and pretty much right before experiencing that bearish cross on a weekly time frame on stochastic RSI, this is the time when I'm going to actually take some profits from Pepe the Frog. But anyways guys, let's actually cover holders for Pepe. So the last update that I gave you, that was on the 25th of May, and we're sitting at 229,487 holders. And as of today, well, as of the time of recording this video, we are sitting at 232,292 holders, which gives us 2,805 holders. Guys, people are accumulating Pepe like crazy. That's the reason I believe that Pepe is pretty much the Dogecoin of this cycle. Of course, everything might happen, but I do believe that Pepe is going to be #1 meme coin. And of course, what is going to come with that, obviously Pepe's friends are going to see some significant upside potential as well after Pepe is going to pull back. So most likely what I'm going to do, I'm going to take out my profits from Pepe and I'm going to add to my bread position. I don't do bread updates, but in case if you would be guys interested, let me know. We can also cover bread too. Anyways guys, looking at the liquidity for 24-hourly heat map on the Binance BTC USDT, we can see that we've got significant levels of liquidity below the current price for BTC and above as well. So that tells me that we are just going to see some boredom. However, if I'm going to switch it to, let's say, weekly time frame, let's see what's brewing on the weekly. So as you guys can see, liquidity is around the price of 72k for BTC. To me, it's kind of logical that BTC sooner or later is going to see that spike. But anyways, let's cover some charts. So first of all, shout out to El Crypto Pro. ETH BTC is in the process of reclaiming a trend line that has been immensely important for over 7 years. I hope you weren't shaken out of the market. Downtrend is also about to end. In the past, this always triggered an old season. So guys, actually let's have a look what's going on, right? 2017, as you guys can see, when that downtrend finished and we have basically shoot up and we had an old season. 2020, exactly the same case. 2021, the same case too. And as you guys can see, that last candle is actually green, right? Green monthly candle. And once we are going to close above that, that obviously is going to be a significant sign that we might experience alt season. But anyways, let's have a look what the Scalping Pro has to say. So historically, each time Bitcoin has flipped the 0.618 level, we have witnessed a massive bull run. So actually, let's have a look and let's go back to 2014, 2017. So as you guys can see, basically when Bitcoin broke that 0.618 Fibonacci zone, then we had the proper parabola. Just like in 2020-21 and now in 2024, I do believe that this is going to be the same case. And by the way, he's got some crazy predictions, but I do believe that this is possible. Of course, I'm not going to tell you that Bitcoin is going to cost 500K, you know, this cycle. However, that is definitely possible. And now Bitcoin, this is just the beginning. There are many similarities between the 2016 cycle and the current 2024 cycle. If you look at the chart, the RSI just returned from the overbought zone while the price moved sideways. We observed a similar pattern in the previous cycle after the Bitcoin halving. In 2016, the RSI surged from 60 to 90 three times before the price eventually peaked. The first correction in RSI from the overbought zone after the halving was when Bitcoin started going parabolic. If this pattern repeats, similar to the previous cycle, this is just the beginning. So guys, let's actually examine and let's see what is he talking about, right? So as you guys can see, this is obviously the line of the halving, right? And as you guys can see, the RSI pretty much, you know, reset, and then we saw the proper parabola, right? Then we had the peak, and obviously what came with that, there was a pullback, right? Then we had the reset again, and then after that reset we had a parabola, right? And then the third spike on RSI basically show as the cycle top for BTC at that time. So let's have a look at what is going on. As you guys can see, this is the first RSI reset, right? So potentially we are going to have three massive waves for BTC, and of course altcoin season is going to follow, I believe. And now shout out to Titan of Crypto, and then guys is Bitcoin chart on the weekly. So Bitcoin breakout incoming. Once BTC breaks the resistance, it's fireworks. So as you guys can see, in 2020 there was the similar case pretty much, you know. Once BTC broke out of that falling wedge, we had a proper spike in terms of the price, aka all-time highs, well, previous all-time highs for BTC. So is this the same scenario over here? I do believe that once we are going to break out of that zone, we are actually going to see some fireworks in our portfolios. Well, I hope you will, guys. And now shout out to Trader Taringrade. Bitcoin has been moving along an ascending channel since 56K. If this channel doesn't break, BTC can surge from 56K to 76K. So guys, that is an 8-hour time frame, and as you guys can see, every single time we are basically reaching that lower level of that ascending channel, then price of BTC is spiking upwards, right? So as you guys can see, we technically could see, you know, a bit of a further dip. Nevertheless, in my opinion, not a financial advice of course, this is the perfect time to scoop up Bitcoin if that is going to happen, because the probability of Bitcoin going upwards rather than downwards from now on is much higher. And now guys, Bitcoin is still holding the parabolic curve. So even if we have dipped, right, on let's say 12-hourly, 4-hourly chart or whatever, doesn't necessarily mean that this is the end, because as you guys can see, the parabola is still intact, right? Of course, we do have pullbacks inside of that parabola. Nevertheless, these are the perfect times to reaccumulate and pretty much, you know, reaccumulate our bags in general. Not only Pepe, not only Bitcoin, but whatever you guys hold and whatever you guys believe in. And now guys, this is total market cap on a monthly chart, so that's everything. Don't fade it, because it's coming. Alt season is just around the corner, according to El Crypto Pro. So guys, let's have a look at what happened in 2014, 2018. So as you guys can see, obviously the bear market, Wyckoff accumulation, whatever, right? Then we had the first breakout, the retest, and then we had this first proper leg up in which we had the pullback. Nevertheless, after that we had a huge parabola for whole crypto market. So as you guys can see, the same scenario, bear market, Wyckoff accumulation, whatever, the first breakout, then obviously the retest, and after the retest we had, you know, the first leg up, let's say, in which we had pullback, which is obviously much more significant than the previous one. Nevertheless, I do believe that once, you know, the last paper hands are going to be shaken out of that market, things will change for good. And now guys, let's check this chart out. So that is a weekly chart for BTC. So according to El Crypto Pro, weekly RSI crossed bullish and entered the blue zone. All-time high, orange line, reclaimed. SMA 20, line touched. Things that also happened very similarly in 2017 and 2020 before we saw the parabolic curve. I think crypto is ready for another leg up, and I am going to agree with this guy. I do have the same opinion. So guys, let's first of all have a look at 2017. So obviously when Bitcoin was dancing around, you know, the previous all-time highs, then after that boredom, we have experienced a huge parabola for BTC. So let's actually have a look where RSI was at that point. So as you guys can see, that was roughly over here, right? It was proper reset on a weekly. Just like in 2020, the same case pretty much, right? RSI was on the bottom. And now, guys, as you guys can see, the first things first, obviously we are dancing around previous all-time highs. Nevertheless, the weekly RSI is at the bottom. So, guys, I do hope that you know what that means. And now, shout out to Mickey Bull Crypto. Altcoins are ready for an explosive run. Bullish divergence is playing out. Send it higher. We've got this, let's say, support over here, and we've got a bounce from that support over here on Mickey Bull's Crypto's chart, and that usually, guys, means that this is the bullish divergence, right? And also, as you guys can see, that Madrid ribbon flipped green, and that flipped not that long ago, right? It was roughly at the beginning of that year of 2024. These Madrid ribbons are taking much longer in bull cycles, so obviously that is just the beginning. And also, I would like to give you an update on one extra chart. Altcoins that are excluding top 10, which means this is one of the best charts for Pepe. So guys, first of all, obviously we do have that huge cap and handle brewing up over here, and of course that is going to take a time, you know, when that, you know, cap and handle pattern is going to play out. Nevertheless, guys, we still need to smash this level of support, which leads us back to previous bull cycle, not mentioning about all-time highs, and of course the whole new uncharted territory for this cycle. Ladies and gents, please remember about taking your profits along the way, and I wish you have a great day or evening. Peace and love, crypto.